Link, it's time to get up. We have to get to our journey must continue. Hey everyone, and welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Previously in the journey, we made our way back to Skyloft once again. Feels like that's I either always mention we're returning to some place, because, again, there's not a ton of locations for us to go to, but you get the point. We returned home to Skyloft, and helped out all the remaining people in Skyloft, netting us all of the gratitude crystals, in turn netting us the biggest wallet in the game, and in turn, turning Betrayal back into a human. Or, not back into a human, into a human. He wasn't a human, he was a monster. Now he's a human. Anyway. So we did that, we got a bunch of rewards, and seemingly we've done everything we need to in Skyloft, at least for the time being. This time, we're going to be heading out to the final Son of the Hero into the Neighbor region, as that's where the final part of the, I don't know why I'm repeating that, the final part of the Son of the Hero remains. And if we look on the map, I believe there is no goddess cube chest or whatever for us to grab, so we don't do anything there. It really is time for us to head to the final Son. We're definitely getting close to the end of our, hopefully, adventure, or at least of our current quest. And I don't think there's anything else left for me to do. I know we can't upgrade anything, but whatever. I'm guessing we're going to be, like, relegated to landing in 2 locations, or we're going to lose all our items. What do you have in store for us this time? Nothing, actually, it looks like. Because if you recall, when we landed in these 2 locations, we didn't really have a choice of where we landed too much. Here, we actually do get a choice. And we have 2 choices, realistically, at least I do, for where I want to go. If you just want to straight go for the story, I recommend going to the linear mine entry. I, however, want to go to, I believe it's the shipyard, because there's something that's going on over there that I need, well, yeah, I guess I want to do, not necessarily need to do. This is something I believe we could have done, probably ever since we did the sand ship, but there was no reason for us to return to the linear region before then, and, you know, we'd have to come here now anyway, so that's what we're doing this now. Coming here, oh, yeah, I knew it, because his armor, yeah, can you not just camp me here, please? Oh, okay, that works. Oh, no. There. I was being quiet because I was trying to concentrate. There's a lot over there. But yeah, if you come here, there may seemingly be nothing for us to do if you just look around. Like, there doesn't seem to be anything happening or anything new. But if we come up to this area, we talk to this Goron, who was here originally.
Oh, hey, what are you doing? Well, you're here now, so how about a little fun?
Fun?
Got your attention, Let me explain. This here is a race against time. Scream across the finish line as fast as you can. Tilt your body in the cart, and if you land just the right angle on the corner, you'll get a nice speed boost. Lose your concentration when you're cruising around a bend, though, and you'll run right off the rails. If that happens, you'll lose the race. And probably your life. What do you say? If you got the guts to ride the rickety coaster, it's just 20 rupees a ride.
Yeah, sure.
So what track will it be?
I guess we'll do scary.
Got it, the scary track it is. Good luck. Alright, let's get going.
So yeah, coming back here, we now have a minigame involving the minecart section, which is something I did mention how it worked earlier, and I mentioned you may want to try to get a little used to it, which even though you only have to run through it like once or twice. Because there is now a minigame involving a, well, pretty much speed test of how fast you can go across the entire track. There are 2 courses, as he kind of explained, and the main goal is going to be trying to ensure that you are leaning at the right time in order to get the appropriate speed boost, and to ensure you stop leaning whenever you're not, because sometimes you can go flat the track or you actually lose speed. So it's all about essentially timing things perfectly, which makes for a pretty interesting minigame. I feel like we're doing pretty good here so far. Again, only real... Oh, there we go. That was bad, though. But still, best time was 10 minutes? How was that even possible? Even if you're trying to mess up, I don't think 10 minutes is realistically possible.
You finished? Whoa, no, that was unbelievable. Even I can't go that fast. You get a rupee.
Oh, you got a rupee? I've taken really good care of. I've been holding on to this one forever, but it's yours now, a singular rupee. But realistically, it's a silver rupee. So, completing the scary track just gets us a bit of money. I believe you can do it again, and if you keep lowering the score, or if you get a certain under something, you get more money. But we want to check out that other track, the heart-stopping.
Well, so you want the heart-stopping track, eh? You got it, but I just hope you're ready. Want to hear the rules again? No, we're good.
This is the main one that you're going to be working towards. This is where the big players are at, not just because of the name, but it's also longer, and this is what has the main reward and the main reason for us doing this. It's kind of a random location for there to be a minigame, because you may think there's no reason to come back here outside of like checking for maybe the, what's it called, goddess cubes, but realistically outside of that, there's not really much of anything. Another thing that makes this one difficult, as you can see, is you have to switch tracks, which keep in mind involves you leaning in the right direction, so there's that as well, which can make this even more challenging. This one, similar to the, I think it was the, which minigame was it? I'm trying to think, actually. One other minigame that I knew was going to take me a while to do that I cut around a bunch of me doing. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the, Fledge's one, actually, now, if I really think about it. Fledge's, like bow and arrow one. I don't remember what the actual thing's called. Pumpkin throw. That one I knew was gonna take me a little bit. This one I have a feeling will take me a little bit because it usually does. This is one of the mini games that I actually find to be a little bit more challenging, even though I feel like I know what I'm doing fairly well. Like especially with how slow I'm going like here and stuff like that. Because I think if you lean when you're not supposed to, you do actually lose speed, which doesn't help when you're trying to get as much speed. I did not mean to jump. You get as much speed as possible, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get this fairly early, but if not, then I'll, of course, cut it around so you have to watch on it. I don't think jumping lowers your speed. I think, in fact, you have to jump. Otherwise, I don't think it's possible to make it. Minute 10, that seems a little too slow for any major reward. I think it was like under a minute.
You finished? Yeah, I know you can do better than that. You were just warming up, right? The secret is getting just the right tilt. Here you have earned the first prize at least.
Yeah, so here, the funny thing, which is kind of interesting, as long as you do decent, you can at least get your money back, so at the very least, money doesn't seem to be the biggest issue. Anyway, I will probably let you see one more run through, because there's two different routes to go, and I actually don't remember which one's faster or not. And this time I'll try to explain, like, my tips for the minigame, though this one, again, is kind of similar to the Fledge one. I don't really have a ton, because I find this one to be one of the, it's up there in the top 3, the most challenging ones for me. And I don't know if that's because of just my lack of knowledge about it. I'm really not certain, so I don't know. But always, if you see what looks like a sharp incline, you'll want to hold the lean in that direction. Otherwise, you want to try to straighten up, because I don't believe that it slows you down or anything, but it could be a placebo effect sort of thing. And this time I'm going to try not using the jump at all and see if that is any faster or if I feel like that slows us down or anything, because I actually don't know. Okay, we're gonna go right here. Oh, I really thought, oh, there we go. Oh, that sucked because I held left, but then it immediately like switched up. Oh my gosh, this one feels way faster. Yeah, that one feels way faster. I think the right's the way to go. I think it's a lot more dangerous, but I think the right's the way to go. Because you have to react a lot quicker, but I feel like we're already feeling like our time's a lot better. Again, you'll just want to make sure to keep an eye out in front of you so you see exactly what's coming up, because I feel like the main way you do this is by viewing what's coming up. Again, I'm not jumping here. Definitely feels like it's making us slow down a little bit, though I'm not too sure. 105, I think that's 5 seconds better. I think originally I got 110 or was it 115? Either way, it wasn't the biggest save, but it's better still.
You set a new record. Great work.
Or is that it?
Not a bad time. Nope, not bad at all. Here's your prize.
Okay, no, not the thing we're at. You've got an evil crystal. Oh, I'm still doing his voice for it. What's wrong with me?
Hope you come back in soon. Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to show unless something interesting happens. I'm going to cut until I eventually get this done, which will probably take me quite a while. So I'll see you guys in just a moment when I have a good run going for me. See you then. Oh. Okay. So I thought it was under a minute you have to get this. Maybe it's under a minute 05? If so, I got it done by 2 seconds.
Oh no, that was unbelievable. You know I can't go that fast. Here you go. I found this treasure right here on this very island.
Okay, I guess that was it. So it's I thought it was under a minute, but I guess that's why I don't rely solely on my memory. You got a piece of heart. Collect 4 to increase your heart capacity. Just 1 more remains.
Hope you come by again sometime.
So yeah, that is a very random location for there to be a piece of heart. And keep in mind that we only have 1 heart container we're missing, and we're only missing now 1 piece of heart to get that last heart. So one of the heart runs I always forget about is this guy. But that actually only took like 1 more try. Like literally right after I said I'll see you in a second, that was my 3rd attempt, and I got it. And funny enough, that mistake you saw me make earlier, where I mentioned the oh, I felt like it was unfair because I went left and then right or whatever, and I was trying to explain that. I made that same mistake again, but I just went the right path instead of the left way, which saved a lot of time. And I did use the jump, so I think the jump is slightly faster, though it really doesn't feel it. Maybe, again, maybe it's a placebo, and someone smarter or who's more intelligent about this stuff will be able to say, oh yeah, the minigame, the jumping of the cart really doesn't change much, but it felt like it did there because definitely saved a little bit more time. So yep, we got that. Now you may be wondering why I returned to the sky, and the sole reason is because I think I showed this strategy earlier. If you want to traverse around areas like this a little bit quicker, you can return to the sky, dive back down, and then choose a different location. And I just feel like doing that instead of having to traverse all throughout the sand sea again. So we're just going to dive right back down, and this time we're going to head to the location that I kind of recommended, that being the Lanayru mining entrance, because, I mean, despite that being the first area we found in the Lanayru area, it's actually, I think, one of the better ones for what we're trying to go to. And, whoa, that's a Goron. I think we saw him earlier. Again, different from Gorko. We've seen 3 Gorons in total. We saw the one who was just played the minigame with. We saw Gorko, and then now there's Golo, who we saw mining, I think, her back when we were trying to look for the sand ship, back for, like, the Sacred Flames.
Hello, hello, Link. How's your search for that Sacred Flame going? Did you find it? Well, I've been dying to hear whether you found it. Well, did you? So, after that wild lawn adventure, you found it. I think you truly are amazing. You know, I think it's time I tell you what I found out about the Legend of the 3 Dragons. I'm certain there's a hidden area just beyond here in the desert. You see, I found a narrow passageway that was too tight for me to fit through, and my gut tells me that one of the 3 dragons of legend, the Thunder Dragon, lives there. These orbits are connected to him somehow. I'm sure of it, bud. The Thunder Dragon, robots, and timeshift stones. What an adventure!
How convenient. We come down here and we hear about a dragon. Something, again, we never heard about in the Lanayru region. The only dragon we ever heard of, even earlier on, was in the Faerun region. As we make our way through this, instead of skipping forward like I did the first time I took this route, I'm going to mention something that I think needs to be addressed in case you're playing along, or for just, I think, general knowledge, because it's kind of interesting. Of course, this is the HD version of Skyward Sword. I've not been shy about telling you that, and I think I even put that in the video, like, what's it called, title and whatnot. Just because there is a lot of differences, mostly just, not just visual, but also some gameplay changes. Not a ton, but there's a few. And one of those gameplay differences that I think are worth bringing up, it was stuff that, like, was buggy about the original. And there was quite a few things that were buggy about the original as I make my way through, because there's still some stuff to do. I already mentioned the minigame with the bamboo one, where if you went over a certain limit of slices somehow, it would reset the score for some reason back to 0. And then there's some other small ones, but the biggest one by far that... Well, there was another also big one, which I didn't mention back in, I think it was the 3rd dungeon, the Lanayru mining facility one. That one had a location where you could soft lock the game in the original, based on if you did the moving block puzzle incorrectly. That, I know for a fact, has been fixed in the HD version, and I wouldn't worry too much, because you have to do a very precise combination of things in order to move the blocks in the original. But if you're really anxious about doing it if you're playing the original, and again, you're somehow still at that dungeon and you're watching this long, you don't want to be blind to it or whatever, then you can always just watch a walkthrough or something like that to see exactly how to do it properly, just again, if you want to be safe. But anyway, the biggest one I was talking about that's related to this area is based upon this, like, major quest here that we're doing right now with the dragons or whatever. First, I'll talk to you. Oddly enough, it seems that drawing a circle on certain strange walls will produce something round. Okay, thank you, buddy. This late in the game, you're giving me another goddess roll tip. I appreciate it. If you were to... Okay, I guess I need to pause this. This is Lanayru Gorge. Legend tells of the dragon loyal to the goddess living in this area. I'm glad you didn't tell us about this, like, as soon as we were looking for the dragons and we got in this area, but whatever. So, yep, once again, another new area. But anyway, as I was saying, the, oh my god. Signs indicate that an ancient civilization established a quarry here to mine the deposit of high-quality time-shift stones. Fee, can I please... I just want to explain. Consequently, the terrain is interactically subdivided into remnants of automated mining equipment. I didn't get to read it all because she used long words. That's unfair. You're cheating. Because I'm dumb. You can't use big words, Fee. That's not allowed. But yeah, so the... As I'm hopefully not going to be able to actually finish the goddamn freaking bullcrap I'm trying to say. Also, bird statue here. The original Skyward Sword on the Wii And I'm going to pray and imagine, because no Nintendo acknowledged that this bug existed. In the original Skyward Sword on Wii, depending on certain events you would trigger in like a certain order, you could completely soft lock the game this late into it, and your only options to continue were to have another save file on standby or to reset the entire game again from the beginning. Again, in case you're worried, I'll kind of run through it. It's all tied to the Lanayru region. And how the bug works, just to put it cut and dry without spoiling stuff, is triggering certain events, not all the events, but certain events in this Lanayru part before completing the other two would completely cancel out the ability to get the other two parts of the Song of the Hero. In turn, meaning if you're playing the original, just do the Lanayru desert area last. Just do the other two first, which I've been doing that anyway, just for the sake of I feel like it is easier for people to follow along with. But also because I've been doing it just in case you are playing the Wii version, then you can follow what I'm doing and know it's okay. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you just completely avoid the Lanayru region till last, you're 100% fine. You know what I mean? You're good. Also, there's a key down here, which we're going to have to grab with our guy. Thank you. Which is the first time I think we've seen a key just, like, lying around on the floor. Anyway. But how it worked was if you do this event with the dragon area, talk to him, and then talk to, I think it's the Goron after... I think it's after you get his song piece, though, first. Either way, you have to go through a few different steps. But then if you talk to the Goron after, I think, completing all these steps, then... And again, you hadn't done the other two parts of the Song of the Hero or whatever. Then you were completely soft-locked because it would not let you get the other two pieces of the song. It's a really interesting thing. And again, I think Nintendo acknowledged it. And the fact that it was on Wii and it didn't get like an update or something is really weird. Again, I'm going to go on a limb here and say I imagine... Since the HD version, again, since they acknowledged it and the HD version has changed quite a few things about the original game, I'd imagine that was one of the things that they fixed. So if you're playing the Wii, I guess the Wii. If you're playing the Wii version, and I would recommend just completely ignoring the Lanayru region till last, because you don't really want to risk it. If you're playing the HD version, I would still recommend probably leaving it for last if you want to be very careful, but you could do this one first. It really is up to you. Again, if someone knows for a fact, let me know if it's true that they patched it, and I really hope it is. There are lots of big time shift stones here. Did you get permission from Master Thunder Dragon to come here like we did, Worm? We were just about to transport this time shift stone to Master Thunder Dragon. Weep. Oh, okay. And you're just making... There are many monsters for... I was gonna read that, but he died before we got to finish it. That's so dark, but kind of funny. So yep, we have to do something we kind of did back in the second dungeon, which was follow along the minecart here, like its track as it moves, otherwise we'll die because, you know, time shift stone shenanigans. Pretty cool. Anyway, it's a weird bug. I'd recommend just, again, it's fairly easy to avoid for the most part as long as you know what triggers it. I keep stuttering on my words, I apologize. I forgot. Oh, well, I thought that dropped a skull. But yeah, overall, it is really sad that that bug exists and can potentially make you reset the entire game, which is why I recommend if you're playing, no matter what the game, no matter how modern it is, if you can have multiple save files, have at least two, because you never know when something bad's gonna happen, or some weird game-breaking glitch or something could occur and make you reset the entire game. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on a lot of like really cool video games just because something annoying happened. I've had that happen in the past with some games I've played, and it's always some of the most disheartening moments, like Subnautica, the original one. I played that, and there was some weird bug that made it so I essentially had to restart the entire game if I wanted to get all the achievements, which I know wasn't like the biggest deal. I could complete the game without it, and I did, but it was just because the achievements were part of the fun for me was going for them in that game, and not being able to because that glitch was really annoying. I think it was because of I don't really remember actually fully what it was, but I remember I had to use cheats in order to fix it because I got stuck in, I think it was one of the laboratories because like the game thought the water disappeared. Anyway, that's a different game. It doesn't really matter right now. But yeah, just be careful and you should be good. As we're making our way next to this time shift cart, I pretty much don't have to explain what we're doing again. You can kind of see we're having to follow it. Getting to a little bit more of a difficult segment though. Do I want to go? I guess I'll go this way. I think there are multiple routes you can take, and there's one that's faster, I believe. Again, don't quote me on that. But yeah, the bug does exist. Just be careful about it. I'm surprised we actually hit that. Just be careful about it. Again, as long as you're aware of it, I feel like it's fairly easy to like be able to avoid. There we go. But again, I think those are the only two like major like game-breaking bugs that I know of that are in this game, and thankfully that's very rare. I think in Zelda games, I can't think of too many where you can get soft block. Maybe the original game, like on the NES, because of how the keys and dungeons. Oh frick! No! Okay. Wait a second. Did anyone in the world just catch what happened there? Like any singular person, did anyone catch it? Also, yeah, in case you fail or fall off, you can see it just takes you to like certain checkpoint spots. I went to grapple onto this wall, and what happened was I hit the stamina fruit there, which broke the stamina fruit, but caused the claw shot or whatever it did launched back and canceled out me trying to grab onto it, and that in turn made me run out of time in this little circle here, and I fell to my death. That's insane. Of course. Stuff like this always happens when people are paying attention. Keep making your way forward. But I mean, that happens with me even with just my family, because I would always play games in front of them, or whenever you're playing together with family, always when the weird stuff happens, because why wouldn't it? Let's keep making our way over. Bunch of stamina fruit, thankfully keep an eye on that. Also, an interesting thing we heard about from the robots there who were digging was that they call them like the Master Thunder Dragon or whatever. Not that they call them the Thunder Dragon, that's not really weird. It's interesting because of how they describe him as like their leader. When they say master, it implies like he has some sort of control over them. Not like mentally, right? But he has some power over them in terms of he can order them around and whatnot. And it's interesting because it sort of implies to some degree, I feel like, that maybe the robots, because we were always kind of curious what the purpose of, at least I was, what purpose the robots have. Because keep in mind, everything on the surface was left behind by the goddess, and of course these robots aren't organic life forms. They were made by something, right? Presumably, either the goddess or the Thunder Dragon or some humans before made them. Also, you can watch out for these keys, but as long as you're near the ring again, they can't get near it. We can assume that somebody from the past made these robots to mine the time shift stones, but it implies that it was always intended for like them to be given to the Thunder Dragon. Again, make it seem as though maybe he led like a group of humans, or maybe he made them, and time shift stones were, because how he said like, oh, we're about to deliver this time shift stone to the Thunder Dragon. Now, why would he need them? I don't know. But it's interesting to kind of think about because, again, a lot of the cool things with Zelda to me is kind of the storytelling it does, like, not to your face, but, like, just subconsciously be showing, specific objects and areas. I don't know what that's called. I'll probably put the word in here or whatever I'm trying to think of. But it's like a word for storytelling that's not just via words, like visual storytelling. I think it's visual storytelling. And with how that works, also there's a new thing here where it's these little things going back and forth. You also want to make sure you're on the other side of the minecart. You want to completely avoid it. Oh, I thought it had caught it. It didn't. But yeah, the Zelda series does that a lot, which I think is really cool. One of my favorite parts about it. Like a lot of the older Zelda games, they have like different areas and stuff that people theorize about like what purpose it may have. That's not to say, of course, everything has some deeper meaning to it, right? But you can tell a lot of the stuff in the Zelda series was intended to like have some deeper meaning to it and have like some deeper inclinations or bigger what's it called? But bigger things at play, like bigger things at stake. Since I'm trying to concentrate, I'm finding a hard time trying to talk. But yeah, Zelda does that a lot, and it's one of my favorite things about it. As if I haven't made it clear that there's a lot of things I like about it. I'm sorry, I'm going to take the damage, I really don't care. Yeah, and then here's going to be a problem. For some reason we can't get up here, even though normally we would be able to. So what we have to do is wait for the minecart to make it all the way, and then we can start running up through here. Thankfully, the stamina fruit's here, otherwise we wouldn't be able to make it. And we can get up here to the switch. But yeah, Zelda does a lot of really cool storytelling stuff. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I feel like the Thunder Dragon and the robots and stuff are all a part of that. Also, this is a very long segment, if you couldn't tell. That's running through like this with having to defend it. But I do like this form of like the minigame, or not minigame, but this like following the time shift stone. I like this a lot more than what they did in the dungeon. Probably because you have a little bit more room to maneuver, but also because they have a lot more tools at play that they were able to use in interesting ways. For example, I think the I forgot to shield bonk the first one. Or maybe I can shoot him with an arrow, actually. I don't know. Do you take damage from arrows? No, you don't. Okay. Good to know. Speaking of arrows, I'm gonna take care of these things first. There we go. But yeah, some really interesting stuff, to say the least. Okay, it's okay. Our shield regen. Just ignore him for a moment. Get him out of the way. Go away, please. Thank you. Okay. And then we'll just stay behind this to be safe. Don't need the heart. Oh, frick. Okay, we should be safe here, right? No, we have to fight them. Got it. Okay. Let's see if we can lean out. Ooh, nice. There. Being quiet because I was trying to focus on my aim, because my aim is terrible, as you know. So yeah, behind the one on the left is a lever. I think we have a whip on us. Otherwise, we'll be able to reach some of these. And this is a very long route to get back to him, if you can tell. It's kind of weird how this isn't connected to the mining facility, because you'd feel like if they were meaning to bring these to the Thunder Dragon and this was where he kind of resided, that, you know, it's kind of interesting they didn't just, you know, connect the two or whatever. Here we have an interesting segment where we're going to have to do some platforming. We also have to get rid of these Deku Babas, otherwise we'll, of course, be in danger. We have some bomb flowers over there. We want to make sure we're on the move with the minecart, but thankfully it gets stuck here on the rocks, so we don't have to worry about it going forward without us, which is nice. Get rid of that, and hopefully that should clear the path forward. Also, yeah, of course you can see that goddess cube back there. We'll be getting that soon, don't worry. In case that's bothered you like it did me the first time I came here, I was like, oh, I should get that first. You two. Sorry. My dog was making a weird noise and making sure she was okay. Yeah, she makes a bunch of appearances in these videos. I apologize for that, by the way. I mean, I love her, and I'm sure it's not the biggest deal, but sometimes you can hear her making sounds and whatnot, and I just, you know, that is not what I intended when I was doing this. So he was actually here all along. And funnily enough, after seeing this, you can still stab the time shift stone and just kill them all again. But yeah, that pile of bones over here is in fact the dragon we were looking for. We also can see these chains here, which is kind of interesting that he's like chained down. I don't really know what the purpose of that is. Well, Nehru. And he has like these little glowy eyes when you talk to him. Interesting. Okay, so I guess we'll actually, you know, not keep him alive, but we'll get him back alive for a moment so we can talk with him once more. And we can see what he has to say.
Oh, hello. Not a visitor like you here in quite a while. You're a human, aren't you? You must have some reason for coming this far. What is it?
Love his, like, foam beard.
Oh, I see. So you're a Link from the sky. That's not much of a name, is it? How about I add a model number to your name like my friends have got? Maybe LD Link 16. Oh, I can tell you don't like the sound of that. That's a shame. What can I do for you? Oh, you say you need me to teach you a song. Hold on now, didn't you just say you came from the Sky Link? So you're the hero chosen by the goddess, aren't you? I see, well, that is something. Although I must apologize, you see, I can't really help you. I may have enough strength for a brief chat like this, but, well, as you can see, I'm quite ill. I'm in no shape to sing. And to think it was the goddess herself who entrusted me with this important duty, I feel the deepest shame.
So he's ill. I don't know if it's a sore throat or if it's terminal. I have no idea. The fact that we saw his corpse there could imply that, but also keep in mind he's been alive for a while, so.
We wanted Master Thunder Dragon to get well, so we plan to seed them from the Tree of Life, which bears a fruit that is said to cure any illness, verm.
Okay. Talking about some Yggdrasil or whatever the Tree of Life is usually called in mythology. This also, of course, is where our goddess cube is at, which is what I'm wanting more than any cure, but, you know, we'll do that too, if it's convenient for us. Okay. So seemingly we can't get over there. I don't... Oh, what the world? What the world was that? My left Joy-Con just started, like, freaking out for a moment. Oh, I guess we can get over here just from climbing up again. I guess looks a little deceiving, huh? Where is the... Yep, Gust Bells. Because we have a time shift stone here, which is also what lets us more easily grab the goddess cube over there instead of having to walk on the sand for a little bit. Hey, buddy.
Master Thunder Dragon's condition has been bad for a long time, and the soil here is not suitable for growing trees. Zert. If only we had more time. Verm.
Well, I mean, I'll take it. You got the life tree seedling, and it's very young from a legendary tree whose fruit is said to cure any illness.
What are you doing with that seedling? Verm. Master Thunder Dragon needs fruit from the Tree of Life to recover. Unless you mean to help our master.
Of course. What else would I do with this?
Really, Verm? Thank you, Zert. Make sure you plant the seedling somewhere. It'll be sure to thrive. Weep. I fear growing the seedling to maturity in the Nehru province is impossible. Zert, we're counting on you, Weep.
Okay. Of course, we're gonna grab our goddess cube, of course, because, you know, it's our loot. Let me, there we go, reset the gyro, because just based on how I sit on my chair and stuff, and how I move around when I'm talking, can mess it up with that a little bit. Speaking of interesting things with the motion controls, since we're gonna have some stuff to do here, that will take a moment. Also, any more goddess cubes in the area? Oh, I guess not. I was kind of hopeful. Oh, that's where the sand, I think, was coming from earlier. That's interesting, actually. I didn't know there was an actual, like, spot up there. Anyway. Interestingly enough, with the motion controls, I think I mentioned this a little, like, a few episodes, or not a few episodes ago, quite a while ago now. One of the biggest complaints people had with Skyward Sword, and have even to it now, is its motion controls, which is, kind of, if you couldn't tell, one of its, if not it is, in fact, its major feature. In terms of course, everything's really motion control based. A lot of people really didn't like it and kind of felt like it was, you know, didn't feel the best or whatever. And I will say it definitely wasn't perfect. And there's a lot of problems with it, especially on the Wii version. But something interesting to note, if you are playing the HD version specifically, also as that hint implied, we can't grow this in the linear region, so we're heading to this guy. The HD version specifically, again, this is not on the original Wii version. If you're playing on the HD version, you have the option to actually play the game using button controls now, instead of having to use Joy-Con, or motion controls, I should say, not Joy-Con. Meaning you could actually just play this with a normal controller and still experience it. Now, how does this work? Well, it comes down to using the, I think it's the right stick, I was about to say C-stick. It depends on how you use the right stick. I think that's how you actually aim your sword, and you kind of flick it back and forth or in around to actually control your swing. And a few other things like that. I don't really fully know. Maybe I'll like show up a little bit of like the controls or whatever around them. But it is interesting. Now, of course, if you couldn't guess from how I talk, also I'm sorry about that. I just rammed my head into my mic. If you couldn't tell from how I talk about the game and explain my controls and whatnot, I'm using the motion controls because that's the original way to experience it, and it's also just how I've always played the game. Though I'm very glad it's a thing now, because a lot of people just never played Skyward Sword specifically because of the controls, and now those people have an option, or actually a choice now, because, you know, you don't have to play with the motion controls, is nice, and I'm glad they added it. However, to me, it is even more clunky than the motion controls ever were, and again, it could just be because I got used to it. Like, you know, you do something for long enough, you just kind of don't really mind it anymore. Like, 'cause I remember back when I first played Skyward Sword, the motion controls definitely were something that I struggled with for a while. But now when I actually think about it, I really can't see myself using anything but the using the motion controls. And I have played with the button controls before, but I've never done like a full playthrough with them, mostly because I know I'd suck with them. But also because, again, it's just I know for a fact that, you know, which one I enjoy more or whatever, right? If we come over here, we can actually, as you can see in like little spots like these where the hole can be dug, we can actually plant the life tree sapling, so we can try to plant it in different locations.
It's great fun to get a sapling here and all, but it's gonna take ages to get this thing to grow tall.
Yep, so he's going to give us a little hint. If you couldn't tell, we heard, of course, it can't grow in the linear region, and we heard that it would take a while to grow, and then, of course, we went back in time, and we saw that, you know, it had that thing. Anyway, it's a pretty obvious puzzle. The only other place we can go and change time at all to any degree is here in the Gate of Time. And this puzzle involves us going back in time to the past. We're going to plant the tree there, and then go back to the present, and hopefully it should be fully grown. And since it's not in the linear province, hopefully it's actually fully grown, because in the linear region we saw it was just a dead tree, which, you know, was unfortunate. This is actually a really cool puzzle, in my mind. Again, having to go back to the Gate of Time. Also, we hear that little jingle just to confirm that you've done it right. I don't know. I just really like this puzzle. I'm partial to it. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't know. I like it. And I wonder from their perspective how this works, because keep in mind, to them, a giant tree should just straight up appear. Yeah, like that. Groose doesn't look all too surprised. He's acting like it's always been there. Hey, Groose, what's up, man?
Oh yeah, now this is a tree I can look at all day. It's like a symbol for this temple or something. Every time I stare at it, my jaw starts hanging open and I get this weird, happy feeling.
Okay, so maybe because it's time shenanigan stuff, for them it always was here, and Link, since he was the one who did it, he's the only one who actually remembers. I don't know. You got the life tree fruit. Eating this succulent fruit of legend cures any illness. Take it to the Thunder Dragon. That sounds like an amazing thing to have, by the way. A fruit that straight up cures every known illness, like, ever to exist. That sounds insane. It must be nice to live in the world of Skyward Sword from that standpoint. Healthcare is actually crazy. But then simultaneously, it's also terrible, because then you have, like, bokoblins and, you know, you're living on a sky island. There's probably problems with that, though I'm sure some people wouldn't mind. Anyway, I'm going to cut to me getting back to the linear province, because there's going to be nothing really new for me to add. I'll see you guys when we get to the Thunder Dragon. See you there in just a moment. Coming back in for yet another landing. This time we got some fruit for you, buddy, and actually I'm gonna check because I never checked this before. Okay, it does appear. It appears over the where the Son of the Dragon is. I actually never knew if that appeared in your inventory or not, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, I know it was technically on us, but I didn't know if it appeared in the actual physical inventory and you could take a look at it or whatever and see it was there.
Oh, Link, hello there. Is there something you need?
Besides me seeing, of course, because I'm dying, I guess, of an illness. Also, they cut away because they knew that animation would make no sense.
Oh, is that what I think it is? You brought that here for me, didn't you?
I love this. Also, that was insanely impressive.
Whoa, down the hatch!
The fact that he just did that and got that much height from that, even though he only spun around once, that's insane.
Zing-a-ding-ding!
Whatever that means. I don't really know what that means, but whatever.
Oh, you've done it, boy! I can feel the fruit's effect surging through me. It's exhilarating. I feel like a proper dragon again. Just because I have eternal life doesn't mean I can't get mighty sick. Thanks to you, boy, this old dragon will keep on charging a while yet.
Wait, you have eternal life, but we saw you dead as a skeleton.
Oh, you big thank you. So allow me to perform a moving rendition of my part of Son of the Hero. I should warn you, I've got a mean set of pipes, and I don't know how to, and I know how to use them. This will clean out those ears, boy, so brace yourself.
You learned part of the Son of the Hero.
Link, I owe you my life. You've to let me repay you. And give me some time to prepare, and when you next return to visit me, I believe you'll be mightily pleased.
Well done, Master. You successfully collected 3 parts of the Son of the Hero. I recommend you return to the sky and meet with the great sky spirit, Levius, to complete the song. We will indeed be doing that. But, of course, just not right now. We made our way to the Lanier region. We found the ancient dragon Lanier, who's my favorite of the 3, by the way. I just like his personality the most. We helped cure him of a disease by helping him find the fruit of life, and now he promises to reward us in more ways than one, as he already gave us the final part of the Son of the Hero that we needed from the 3 dragons, leaving only one piece remaining from that of Levius. Next time, you're going to be returning to the sky, talking to Levius, and hopefully figuring out just what this reward is he's preparing for us, because, I mean, look at how busy he is trying to prepare it for us. I hope to see you all then.